I'm a flight attendant. I work for the Department of Justice, and I am a business owner. And the hustle in me is that I don't want I don't want to depend on him taking care of me, because that's no longer my life, unfortunately. And I appreciate that what is being provided is taking care of our family. But and I'm being honest with you all. How do I date somebody when my home is fully paid for?
You can't.
What?
How
How
do
does a
I
man?
date?
How does
How
a
do
man
I date a
compete with a
man?
ghost?
How do I date a man who's still trying to build his life? And I'm sitting here telling you all, I grew up with nothing. I pulled my own self up by my bootstraps.
Girl,
For me, listening to it and hearing you all speak, I understand for me, there's always a gray area to life, right? I definitely believe men and women are made for one another. I think we help push the goal of family ahead. I also agree with the fact that it's okay. I didn't see it as an individualism with the person saying that whatever she said about that aspect of it. Um, a lot of times in society, we prepare for what society tells us to prepare for, or what is considered the norm. Um, and for personal experience, I am a widow, and understanding that as a widow, I didn't prepare for him to go, and I was only in my 30s. And so for me, understanding that, um, I did everything the world told me to do. I, I was a kept woman. I submitted to the mission. And when the man passed on, they were like, well, why can't you take care of life? What is wrong with you? And so I was berated for not being able to take care of a 10-month-old child, and berated for something being wrong with me. But I was like, I did everything the world told me to do. I worked out. I still had a life outside. I was family oriented, the nucleus family. I did all of that. So I say sometimes the gray areas of life um, gets in the way of what we see and what we think about how things are supposed to go. Because there are always exceptions to the rules when things are happening, right? I didn't see it as an individualism thing, because at the end of the day, there are some women who are so invested in their husbands, when the husbands are not around, then they have no identity, right? And then in my case, being a well-rounded person, did the healing, did all of the things I was supposed to do, I still lost. I lost by being treated badly by society. And so now, in another light, I'm straddling the fence of, I believe I know how to be a wife. I date as a wife, unfortunately, because I don't know how to be nothing but a wife. Um, so when I come into society, right, and I'm like, I'm gonna be busy being about my business. So when my husband finds me, I'm more of an asset. So now that I've done all of the healing, and I'm more of an asset to society, now I have to listen to that. Now my personal goals were my personal goals, right? Whether it has been a degree to be a mom, a homeowner, or whatever it is that you aspire to have, right? Um, then I'm told I'm devalued, or something was wrong with me. I grew up in a two-parent household. I also grew up in foster care. So I'm able to see both sides of life. So I'm grateful for God giving me the opportunity to see both sides of life, so I can make a logical decision about how to proceed. So I'm very logical about decision makings, right? And so the reality of this is, moving forward, is understanding there are going to be some gray areas within this. There is no right or wrong. And so when one makes a decision, understand they're making a decision based off of their circumference, their proclivities, and their understanding. You could have never told me at the age of 34 I was going to be a widow and have to navigate life, and then say, hey, you're wrong for not being able to pay your mortgage. You're wrong. So now, currently with dating, and I'm like, I'm an asset. I have these degrees. I have a great job. I just want to help my husband, and I want to be here. And then you're still telling me I'm wrong. So for
No,
me,
wait, wait. Are you? I'm sorry. Are you a widow?
yes, I am.
Well, I think we should say our condolences.
Thank you.
Yes,
To
our
our
Thank
community.
you.
condolences. Thank you.
Thank you. And so and to close this up, what I'm saying is sometimes, um, I'm a lot of women are not out here in the situation because you will have men that'll instantly say, "Well, where's your husband?" or "Where's your this?" I did have a covering. The covering was taken away from me, and although I've done the healing and I've done the this and the that, and here I am sitting in these conversations where the gray area is presented. There's always a gray area to life. There's nothing is ever black and white, and so I land there.
Can I ask you a question about this? It
Yeah,
might be sensitive though, but you don't have to
yeah,
answer.
yeah. No, I can answer it. I'm very open. That's why I'm here.
Just for the educational purpose for those who's listening, that are not thinking that it could actually be them one day that this sad thing could happen to them. If you was to go back before this happened and you, let's just say miraculously you knew that this was going to happen, is
Right.
there anything you would have done different as far as affairs and order or something like that?
Um, because I was in my 30s and still navigating counseling and have aged out of the system, I was still learning about family. So I always knew family was very important. I think what I wish I would have known was the business of a relationship. I didn't know the business of a relationship. I knew how to be in a relationship, but I didn't know that there's always a business. There's a business to death and there's a business to relationship. And that's not a negative thing, meaning that having more affairs in order, meaning that I can't say I would have changed me because I was working towards the degree. I was already working
Well,
towards.
do you think you would have maybe gotten life insurance?
No, we did have that. But what I'm saying is life insurance doesn't cover the fact that I still have to parent two children. Life insurance didn't cover the fact that the emotional aspects of showing up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you said that
Yeah,
because people be, I just got into
yeah,
this life insurance thing and
yeah.
I just thought that when you have like these big policies and somebody passed away, then that's enough for maybe you to go into a business
No,
or
it isn't.
start something or some
No, but you
investment or
have to be
whatever.
emotionally ready for that. So when I say that, and I'm gonna be very transparent, I am well cared for, right? And to the point where it's hard for another man to take care of me because a dead man is taking care of me. You understand what I'm saying? So
Damn.
yeah, so for me, it's hard because I'm open
Oh,
to
wow.
date. I'm open to dating. I'm open to the man, but I'm like I'm being provided for in another way, right?
So
And
basically, what you're saying, even if you do got a big policy or insurance prior to that, you still gotta be emotionally ready to be able to use the funds in an effective way that where you won't
yes,
whatever.
because okay, so I'm at 10 years, right?
Wow.
I just am at the point of understanding this year, 10 years. I'm just at the point of understanding that I can rest.
Oh.
I am a flight attendant. I'm showing that I'm strong. I've not been able to grieve. This is the first year, right?
Hmm.
And so I'm a flight attendant. I work for the Department of Justice and I am a business owner. And the hustle in me is that I don't want I don't want to depend on him taking care of me because that's no longer my life, unfortunately. And I appreciate that what is being provided is taking care of our family. But and I'm being honest with you all. How do I date somebody when my home is fully paid for?
You can't.
What?
How
How
do
does a
I
man
date?
how
How
does a
do I
man
date a
compete with a
man?
ghost?
How do I date a man who's still trying to build his life? And I'm sitting here telling you all, I grew up with nothing. I pulled my own self up by my bootstraps.
Girl, every
You
person
don't
is
hold
gonna
on,
have to
wait.
compete.
You don't think you can date somebody with a paid off because you got a paid off house?
No, no,
Her
no. I'm not
husband.
saying that is the asset. I don't think that defines it. What I'm saying is a lot of men that I have encountered, right? And I'm 42. So either the men that are trying to pursue me are younger or they're way older.
Mm,
And a lot of the men that are trying to talk to me um, are
just getting started.
they're just getting started and they're married to their mothers, right?
Yeah.
So imagine meeting a woman like me that says, I love you. I want to create vulnerability for you. I want to curate a household. And, but I bring this, and this to the table. And when I tell you I bring this, to the table by myself, It is for you, sir. So when I'm dating you, hypothetically speaking, hey, sir, I know what it's like for a black man to commit suicide. I've seen the things that go
Oh,
on to society. I've seen the things that have happened. So I'm telling you, sir, I work so hard for me to be able to be a good woman to give my man a break when he comes to the table, if he decides to
And you're
have
saying
it.
there's no man that would be okay with. You're saying you're not running into no man that sees you as an asset.
Now it's gonna be
so
No.
difficult.
she's saying he doesn't have the capacity to hold her and know what to do with it.
Like my mother lost my father around the same age, like 31,
Oh
32.
my
You
God,
know what I'm
really?
saying? And he had paid off a house out on Oak Park and had an apartment building the next door and left her a decent amount of money.
Wow.
She didn't
His,
whatever happened to the money, but she wouldn't have been able to date either. And you said you had a child, is it a boy or a girl?
a boy.
How
Uh,
old is he?
He's 10 now. So can I explain? So can I ask the men this
really?
and then I'm gonna move on?
No, well, I'm gonna provide maybe just to answer the question before you ask. I was on bullshit if my mother tried to date. I remember one
Period.
time we was at Sports Authority and I was supposed to be getting a baseball glove. And the man tried to holler at her. And I walked up like, we got to get back home. Dad to be home soon, knowing my father passed. That's the bullshit that kids will do to prevent their moms from
I'm
dating.
Well, I'm
encountering.
just trying to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't understand how when y'all argue that most people need two incomes to make it happen. Whenever she's got one half of it, or even more than one half of it,
Yeah.
you're saying it's an issue with
Okay, so
incompatibility.
I'm gonna ask the question to the men and then and I want you to
I
answer.
think it
And
makes
y'all are my
sense.
brothers, so I'm gonna use y'all as my brothers, right? Hey brothers, I met this man. He stays with his auntie. He has two jobs and no kids, and he's not really able to provide. But he proposed to me. He likes me. Would you tell me to be with that man?
Sure. Do you love him? Do you love him?
A man that
Exactly.
cannot provide for himself should not be trying to date.
You just said that you could provide for him.
The issue
If
is
it's all about if you
she
brought that
doesn't
to
want
me
to.
and you said this is who I want to be with, wouldn't you be aggravated if I said no, you shouldn't be with him?
No, let me tell you why. Because you should say to me as a woman, hey, this man needs to get his affairs, and he doesn't have to be rich. He has to have the necessities of life. Because no man would not date me if I was begging him for
Well, if
something.
you do you consider yourself to be a helpmeet like the Bible?
I do. I'm willing to help,
This
but
is
I
your
also.
opportunity to be one of the best helpmeets this man could probably ever run into in his entire lifespan.
So you
I
mean
think
to
that's
tell
the
me?
issue.
You mean to tell me
You're
as a
saying
single?
if let's just assume he checks all the blocks. He's whatever you want emotionally. He's got 8 inches of whatever you need. He's helpful. He's discerning. He's just running into some things to where he's struggling, and you and him could has the compatibility to surpass all of the challenges if y'all
So,
were to link up together. You're saying that he needs to earn more just to.
okay, no, I'm not saying earn more. I need him to be able to take care of himself first before he decides to include me in it. What I'm saying is, I'm a woman with two kids. He's a man with no kids. I literally asked, and this is a real situation. I asked him, was he selling his paycheck because he never has any money.
What did he say?
He explained to me that he's behind, and so this is not a man that I discarded. This is a man I became a friend to, and he's still not ahead. His mother comes to
So
hang up his curtains.
are you saying he's ahead because he's not doing the right thing he should be doing with finances?
Apparently so.
Well, you
So you're
probably should have just
asking,
led with that. Like
But
he's horrible with finances. A man came to me, he's horrible with finances, and he wanted me to be his woman. We
and
could
he
have
has
nipped
two
that in.
children.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, but I didn't
I
know
mean,
that it was.
I'm being honest, but what I'm saying is in this situation,
What can
there's
he
always
teach?
gray areas to life. So that's kind of my
I
perspective
get
to
it.
the conversation. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a man has to be where I am. When I say I am an anomaly of a woman, right? Meaning that I built myself up from my own bootstraps, come from the gutter, the projects, and military, and experience a lot of crazy stuff. And then you tell me to get out here and date. And I'm open to dating the average, the bus driver, the barber.
Well,
I'm
let
dating
me
them.
just ask you this: if he was with you, finances wouldn't be an issue for him, right? His main struggle, right?
Right.
Okay, so that nips that in there. What other issue did he have?
Did the gentleman have?
He was
So
tied
he
to
had,
her mother, the mother thing.
Well, obviously, if y'all hitched together, that wouldn't be an issue either because then he would relocate, right?
Some moms will sabotage a marriage just to stay that connection to
Oh,
them.
y'all gonna
here's
throw
what
in
I'm saying, and here's what I'm saying, and I'm gonna move on. I am basically saying that I am not asking you to be better than me. I know we have shortcomings in life. I know we have proclivities. I know that I'm not a perfect person, right? But I'd be damned if I would tell my daughter who has attained in life to be with a man who has potential and trying to figure out versus a man who has a plan. I'll get with a man for a plan and safety that is actually demonstrated.
but those guys are not an option. You just communicated that
What you mean?
you don't have that as an option. Only the guys that are coming to you is these guys, these
Oh
type
no,
of
no, I
guys.
gave that as an example. I do have that option, but I gave
Before
that
y'all
as an
go,
example. But what I'm
before y'all go
saying
too
is,
far back down this line, I know we gotta get everybody else
yeah,
involved because we go through the channel. So who was next?
go ahead. I'm
I think it
sorry.
was Amara, sorry.
Hi guys, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know where the topic went, but I guess we were talking about not needing a man or not being fulfilled.
Yeah.
As for the topic, every woman needs a man. Like, to be a woman, for being a fulfilled woman, you need a man, and that man is your father. You need that man to teach you what it is that a man is supposed to provide in a woman's life. You need him to give you that love. If you don't have him, you're going to grow up always craving that thing that you never got. So you do need a man, and the man is your father. Now, your husband is just an extension of your father. Your husband is there to provide you the circle of life completion, which is you now becoming a mother. That's part of the circle of life. And if you don't complete that, there's always going to be something missing in you. Even though a lot of women don't like to admit it, there's always going to be something missing if you don't fulfill your purpose as a human being. The other thing is, somebody said, you're born alone, you die alone. You're not born alone. You're born, your parents are there. You died, your children should be there. What you're talking about, you came out the womb alone? So what? That's not what matters. We're not sitting there conscious while we're going through the womb. You're born with your parents, you die with your kids. It's as simple as that. It should be like that anyway.
Ma'am,
So,
just to before you go any further, I'm 42 and I'm the last of the living of my immediate
I'm not
family.
talking about you.
I'm just letting you know there are gray areas. There are gray areas.
I think it's Annie's turn.